The Berenstain Bears have done it again in this episode of The Berenstain Bears Forget Their Manners. What do we got here? Please and thank you help quite a lot to make a polite bear out of one who is not. There was trouble in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road deep in bear country. Trouble with manners. The bear family's trouble with manners is they forgot them. Here they are in the tree house. You can see Mama Bear over here in this room. Her posture is indicative of annoyance, maybe a little worry. Because over here in this room, we got some behavior that looks a little hostile. There's a tongue sticking out, a mouth open, even the birds and the trees and the squirrel. What else we got? I'm sure there's another animal that's quite upset. Oh yeah, look at this. This bird right here. Nobody's happy. At first, it was just an occasional please or thank you that was forgotten. Then there was a rude push without an excuse me. Then a reach across the table instead of a please pass the broccoli. Everybody knows that, a forgotten please or thank you is always a gateway into pushing and shoving, like more physical altercations. It's clear on this page that things got progressively worse. As a banquet server, this last one's pretty hard for me because before I was a banquet server, I also was taught that reaching across the table is just rude. So then when I started serving tables, that was the hardest part of my job. I just like reaching over and taking and putting and reaching. And so I really get this one. You don't want to do that. I don't even know why. Like, I get paid to do it and I don't want to do it. But why would you? Come on, Brother Bear. Little manners. All right, so Mama Bear wasn't quite sure how or why it happened, but she was sure of one thing. Whatever the reason, the Bear family had become a pushing, shoving, name-calling, ill-mannered mess. Silly head, fuzzbrain, noodle puss! At the table, it was even worse. They were grabbing, mouth-stuffing, food fighting, kicking under the table. A super mess! Super mess. Of course, Mama Bear tried to correct Brother Bear and Sister Bear's behavior. She tried coaxing. She tried complaining. She tried shouting. She tried going to Papa for help, though it sometimes seemed to Mama that he was part of the problem. Papa banged on the table and shouted as only he could shout, but nothing really seemed to do any good. Now, as you can see, this is kind of parallel. Mama Bear's behavior is getting progressively worse. It's almost the same as this other page where it starts off like this. That's kind of like this, and then you got Papa Bear over here just being a freaking. That never helps. That's like fighting fire with fire. Plus, he spilled the honey. Whew. Mama didn't like what was happening to her family. Not one bit. Something had to be done. But what? The best way to fight bad habits, she thought, was with good habits. Then she thought of a plan. She got a big piece of cardboard and a marker, and at the top she wrote, "The Bear Family Politeness Plan." When the plan was finished, she called a family meeting and showed it to Papa and the cubs. And this is probably one of their first meetings they've ever had, because these kids are like, what is going on with Mama Bear? And then, oh yeah, this was the plan as it was happening, and this is how it ended up. Not Japanese, I don't read right to left. It certainly got the Bear family's attention. So, okay. Mama's plan had a list of all the rude things she wanted to stop. Beside each one was a penalty, a job or chore that went with it. If you forgot a please or thank you, for instance, you had to sweep the front steps. If you pushed or shoved, you had to beat 2 rugs. If you got caught name-calling, you had to clean the whole cellar. Yes, and so here's the list here. If you want to go ahead and take a look at that. It might be backwards because I'm using a front-facing camera, because I really, really, really like the green feature, and plus I like seeing myself because I'm so vain. So anyway, here's that list. You can feel free to pause this and go over it, because, you know, it's kind of a good idea if you have a family of rude people and you have a dirty house. So it's like, you know, getting 2 birds killed, you know, with a stone. Okay. But Mama, sputters the ghost, you're not being fair. It seems to me, she said, that you're the ones not being fair. To yourselves or to anyone else. That's what manners are all about. Being fair and considerate. Manners are very important. They help us get along with each other. Why, without manners? Your Mama is absolutely right, interrupted Papa. Thank you, Papa, for the comment. But interrupting is number 3 on the rude list, and the penalty is dusting downstairs, so... And she handed him the feather duster. And this is her handing him the feather duster. If I were Papa, I probably would have felt really stupid, and I would have been like, I know, I was just trying to help you with your presentation and give you a little bit of an example, and not cleaning the dust downstairs because I'm helping you. That's what I would have said. But it looks like Mama told him. Said Brother. This looks serious. I think we better come up with a plan of our own, or we're going to be doing a lot of extra chores. What sort of plan? Asked Sister. Well, he said, instead of being polite, we'll be super polite. We'll say please and thank you so much that Mama will get fed up and call the whole thing off. Yes, said Sister. We'll be so polite she won't even be able to stand it. They put their plan into action, and they were super polite. On the stairs. Thank you. No, on the stairs. After you, Sister dear. Thank you, dear brother. In the hall. Excuse me, brother dear. Why, certainly, dear sister. Waiting for the bathroom. Terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Think nothing of it, my dear. And this is them being super polite. Mama's overhearing it. She's being really happy. Brother's like, I don't know about this. Shirt all open. That's not very polite to me. Close that shirt. But it didn't work the way they expected. Mama didn't get fed up at all, and after a while, Brother and Sister forgot about being super polite and were just polite. At the table, pass the honey, please. Certainly. In their room, would you like me to help you pick up your toys? Thank you very much. In the yard, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. That's all right, no harm done. And it turned out that Mama had been right. Things did go more smoothly. Once they got into the good manners habit, they didn't even have to think about it. But it wasn't so easy for Papa. He was the one who got fed up. It's a little harder to change your habits when you're older. He had to do quite a few extra chores for forgetting his manners. I'm glad to get out of the house, away from the politeness plan, he says as he drove the family along the highway on a trip to the supermarket. Manners and courtesy are just as important away from home, especially on the road, said Mama, as they stopped at a sign to let pedestrians and other cars pass. They help us drive safely. Did I show you the other page? I sure hope so, because, you know, this is what we really want to see. We really want to see the good, the politeness, and the happiness. It makes the world better. Over here we got Papa having road rage. Papa doing chores. Apparently emptying out a bucket of vomit. Well, grumbled Papa as they all went into the busy supermarket, I think you can have too much of a good thing. You've got to have some common sense along with manners. Why, if you let everyone go ahead of you at the checkout, you'd be there forever. And sometimes you have to interrupt. Excuse me, madame, he interrupted a shopper, but I believe you have a leaking bottle in your cart. And the shopper thanked him for his help. I really hope that wasn't flirting, though, because as you can see, Mama Bear's face is a little like, why are you talking to that lady? And then he's all like, ma'am, I like your blue earrings, and you have a leaky bottle. And then over here, he gives her this little, ooh, my nail's dirty. It's chocolate, don't worry. A little flirt, little top tip of the hat. Alright. You see, he said, driving home, there's more to life than remembering your manners. Besides, manners are all right for cubs and mama bears. But sorry, this moment got a little intense for me. As you can see, an accident has happened. I didn't mean to spoil the surprise, but you were going to eventually see it anyway. But we Papa Bears have other things to think about. And at that moment, the car in front stopped. Suddenly, and Papa bumped into it. He was furious. Why, that pinhead fiddle brain, he snarled. Name calling, reminded Sister. The penalty for name calling was cleaning the whole cellar. So Papa gritted his teeth and remembered his manners. And a good thing too, because climbing out of the other car was the biggest, angriest bear he had ever seen. But when Angry Bear saw how polite Papa was, he remembered his manners too. He explained that he had stopped short because Mama Duck and her ducklings had crossed in front of him. Then he and Papa Bear looked at their bumpers and saw no harm had actually been done. And little Sister Bear is so sweet. She's waving at the ducks because they're so cute. And I would be too. I really would. And as I was saying, said Papa, as they continued on their way, it's very important for us to remember our manners at all times, and I want to thank you, Sister, for reminding me to remember mine. You're very welcome, I'm sure, said Sister Bear politely. And they went back to their house in Bear Country. The end. I just hope that you all remember your manners, and we could all learn a little something from the Berenstain Bears.